Yo, what is going on, everyone? I am Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics. Welcome to another Thursday night chat. We're going to be hanging out talking comic books and all of that. Before we get to that, though, let's hit that intro. So far, we have one person joining us tonight. We got Rob from Rob's Chat Stacks. What's up,
Hi,
dude?
everybody. I'm not Steve. Wait.
How's it going, dude?
Oh, it's end of month, which for anybody who's listened to me complain, which is a lot of people, end of month is usually when I complain the most because that's just when it gets busiest for me at work.
The end of the month, the 17th, is already end of the month for you?
When you have a holiday that's
Oh,
gonna take up a lot, that basically, even though the holidays are only 2 days, everybody takes Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
sure.
So realistically, that means I got Friday, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, and then another we come back. I think it's like another 3 days after that. So
Right.
yeah, it's basically there's 5 days left in the month.
Well, okay, so next week, so essentially what you're saying is next week doesn't count. So there's tomorrow, and then there's 4 days or 3 days.
Oh well, there's 2 days next week, 3 days of the final week of the month,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And tomorrow. So it's technically there's 6 business days left, but for me and my team, what we do, we have to submit everything to other teams that need at least 5 days to complete. So in realistic mode for me and my team, tomorrow is the last day to get anything done on time without having to do superhuman efforts and call in favors. So it's always
I feel you, Dylan. I feel you. Head up a couple sponsors and we'll get started here. Thank you to the amazing people over at the 616comics.com for sponsoring the channel and the monthly Burke Box, which we're going to be drawing for in 2 weeks because next Thursday is obviously Thanksgiving. Thank you guys so much. And make sure you guys check out the 616comics.com for exclusive variants, ratio variants, and more. Thank you to the channel members. Everyone in the family tier there is entered to win that monthly Burke Box again, sponsored by the 616comics.com. A link to everyone in friends here and family tier, a link to their Instagram and YouTube is in the description of all my videos. Subscribe to them, follow them, and support this amazing comic community. Thank you to Eric as well at comicbook_pressing. If you guys ever need any books pressed, consider Eric at comicbook_pressing on Instagram and use promo code Burke54 to get free shipping back to you on your first order. And finally,
I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel. What would you recommend for that?
Well, I'm glad you asked. If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, like Rob talked about, hit that affiliate link below. It's in the description of all of my videos. It costs you the same, though I do get a little bit of a kickback, and I would greatly, greatly appreciate that.
I'm sure that's a selling feature for everyone. You get nothing, I get something.
Well, you get the same. You get the same as you normally do. So, Rob, what you up to today? You got anything cool coming?
Yeah, obviously we had the new comic book day. I only have the books that I have set aside to read right now. Like I have, I picked up the Gold Goblin. I picked up I'd also picked up the variant that was the Green Goblin in the same pose. So pick up that in incentive.
Hold on. Let me do this.
You make me big. Oh yeah. Well, the incentive variant for Hidden Empire. So we'll see what this story is all about.
Nice.
Dr. Aphra, which I've been told by my man, Comic Book Andy, that I'm a sucker for not having read it yet already because it's straight fire. So I can't wait. The Harley Quinn Legion of Bats tie into the HBO Max series, which is pure fun. Nightwing filler story.
You didn't get the
no
same cover I did.
I subscribed to the B cover. Okay. So Firefly Keep Flying. I think this was from last week. It was just a one shot, and then this week's book was the regular in the series run. So there were those, and then backstage we were just talking. I'd gotten this package from I didn't know who it was from. Ironically, it was like addressed to Rob Unchanged, because I guess somebody must have asked me if my address had changed, and I wrote Unchanged, and they wrote that as my
That is
name.
amazing. That
But
is wow.
so I was trying to figure out what it was, and we broke through it, and it was like wrapped in a gazillion wads of bubble wrap and packing tape worse than Burke. Guys, Burke is not the worst any longer. It turns out this is stuff that I sent into a facilitator called Underground Comics and Grading, or Underground Signings and Grading. Same group that Mike Becker's in the Fantasy Football League from organized by them. But sent some books in for a Jay Anacleto signing. This guy, he got hosed because he does CBCS, and CBCS has held on to stuff for so darn long that he's basically hasn't been taking anything in anymore. He's just dealing with trying to get stuff back out to people. And so I didn't even remember I didn't know what this was. Turns out these were the turnoff or the submission deadline for these books, according to my tracker, was July 17th. And we looked at the label, and these were signed on August 19th of 2021. So
a year, 14 months ago.
So they were signed within 30 days of when the submission date was, but then they went to CBCS and they got put in hell. And here we are 488 days later, according to my 488 days since the submission deadline.
Dang.
So we have the books. It was 3 books I sent in, apparently. They were here, let me do this. First was they're all Jay Anacleto's covers. So this is X-Men number 5. So you got a nice Phoenix Virgin variant there.
Beautiful.
No special, just is what it is. Let's see here. Oops, move this out of the way so I can.
500 days, crazy, said Johnny Boys.
Strange. Well, and that's not the worst. I mean, I got some back from them, some books the other day that were like 600 and something days that they were gone. It was just absolutely asinine, and they weren't being pressed at CBCS. But hey, here's Strange Academy 3.
Oh, nice.
So it shows up better on camera, I think, than in person. So much. There's the gold signature, depending upon how he depending upon the angle that you get it at, it can be hard to see on that background, but that's a cool cover.
I like that cover. Not a Doctor Strange fan, but that's nice.
Yeah, and then the last one, also This is a Strange Academy 5. This one's really kind of hard to see unless you're in the right light. Let's see if I can get it, because its signature's right here. But Scarlet Witch. We really should have signed it dark color. I mean, that was the whole point of me blocking off that space over here on the Virgin variant.
Red or something,
you have so much. Oh, red would have been freaking killer. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But it is what it is. But they all came back 9/8. They're all signed. Jay Anacleto covers. Very cool covers. I like these. Some of his work comes out really amazing. I'm surprised though they got nothing listed on any of these as far as specials. Oh, this one just has a note on the back of it of in memoriam Chadwick Boseman insert. That's all.
Rob complaining about a slab. Well, Rob complains again about a slab, says Tyler.
Well, I'm complaining. Not really complaining about the slab. Well, yeah, I'm complaining about all of it. Rob complaining. That's what I do. I'm a grumpy old man. What can I help it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, look, yeah, that's it. Those are the only 3 in that box. I'll have more, and there'll be a bunch more on Monday. There'll be a signature series unboxing. Has a whole bunch of signed slabs.
Nice. So we got a little new comic book day haul and a slab haul. I like it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I guess. Look, here's the thing: if I didn't, I complain, but ultimately, I'm mailing them in and I'm leaving it to somebody else. If I don't want to leave it up to chance, then the answer is real simple, Rob. Don't send things in for submission, or give more details, like please sign in black or red. You know, I didn't do any of that. I just kind of left it open,
Sure,
and you're gonna get. And in that case, that just shows you're gonna get what you get sometimes.
sure. Uh, I'm gonna go over my list for the week that books that I did ask for my poll because I only get books, like once a month, month and a half or so. I'll go over the books that I asked for, and then I will show off the books. It was in a video earlier this week, but
Mhm.
if anyone didn't see them, I will show them off since it was not Sunday live. It was Monday's video. So the books that I asked for this week were Nightwing 98 cover A, Flash, which is that Batmite or that night bite or whatever this cover here. It's on the it's in the background.
Right.
I asked for Flash 788 cover C, which is kind of like a throwback to like the 90s. Dark Crisis Young Justice number 6 of 6 cover A. Dark Crisis Worlds Without a Justice League Batman number 1 cover A. I asked for so the Night Might. Thank you. Sorry. Deceased War of the Undead Gods number 4, the acetate, and then Titans United Blood Pact number 3 cover B, which is the Nightwing cover. And I order all of these from Paul Rogers over the Augusta Book Exchange in Georgia. One of my channel members owns a comic shop there, and I'm thankful that he is able to pull the books that I'd like. And he pulled all these books, shipped them to me, and I'll show them off real quickly. It wasn't a video, so I'm not gonna take too much time to go through these. Deathstroke Inc. number 14, cover B. Evan that's who did it. Pretty sick cover.
He's been doing a lot of stuff lately.
He's been doing a
very,
lot.
very cool stuff too.
Two to three covers a week by him, right?
It seems like, yeah.
Nightwing 97, cover A, Bruno Redondo. That was a good one. I also read this yesterday, The Nice House on the Lake, book 11. This is not how I thought it would go at all. It's really good. I was like, it's not going the way I thought it would go, which is actually really good. And the rest of these I have not read yet. So those first 3 I have read. Flash 787, cover A. Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, number 6 of 7. Cover A. I have the red foil edition that I had pre-ordered from BTC, but this is just a cover A for Death of Superman 30th anniversary, number 1.
So is it just? It's not a reprint. It's a different story.
It's like 4 or 5 different stories in here. I believe I haven't read it yet, so we'll find out. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 101, cover A. Pretty sick cover. Surprisingly, I have not read that yet. Batman 129, cover A. Jorge Jimenez. Excited to read that. Chip Zdarsky writing it. I'm going to switch some of these around. I Am Batman number 15. I think this is a Dark Crisis tie-in.
Oh, are you like the only other person who's subscribing to that book?
No, I'm not. The only reason I got it is because I think Paul said it was a Dark Crisis tie-in, but it doesn't say it on the cover. So
all right, so I am still the only person on the planet subscribing to it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right. Yeah. Black Adam number 1 special edition. The Rock. Such a good movie. I really enjoyed
It's
that
about
movie.
to rock.
Dark Crisis Worlds Without a Justice League Green Arrow number 1. Green Arrow and Black Canary. Cover A. TMNT 133, cover A. Armageddon game. The first Armageddon game was not good, so I'm expecting that to also not be good. Batman Beyond the White Knight, book 6. Like I said, I've only read just the first 3 books that I showed off. What's up, Mad Spidey? How's it going, man? He's in the future. The rest of it is I have not read. We have Titans United Blood Pact number 2, which I put Titans on the thumbnail here. I'll talk about it. I'm having some issues with this season overall, honestly. Marvel Family issue number 1, facsimile, first appearance of Black Adam. Just a facsimile.
Yep.
Dark Crisis, Young Justice, book 5.
Have you been picking up all the facsimiles or just like an occasional one that you
Just the occasional ones, not all
Okay.
of them. I don't need all of them, but I do like to have them.
There was
DC's
one.
War. What's that?
I was saying because there was one this week too.
Hey,
There was a Wonder Woman.
Dad,
yeah.
what is up? Dad, I think 3.0, 4.0. What's up, Cardboard Crazies? How's it going, sir? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you jumping in here.
There was a Wonder Woman facsimile this week. The first newbie.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Yeah. I didn't need that.
Because of my giveaway box. Well, one for me because I've been getting all of them, and
Sure.
Then one for the giveaway box.
Absolutely. DC's War of the Undead Gods number 3, the acetate. All of the DC's books are really good by Tom Taylor. Flashpoint Beyond number 6. I heard something crazy happens in this one, so. And then the last 2 books, The Flash, Fastest Man Alive, book 2 of 3 and book 3 of 3.
Okay, so did you for this week's stuff? Did you order one of the One Bad Day? The Batman One Bad Day, the Mr. Freeze.
Nope, I haven't been doing any of those just because
Okay.
like they're all just one shots and like
Right.
they don't really like tie into anything. Like it doesn't feel like at least, and so I just don't need them because I
understand. It's $8. It's a freaking
exactly. I mean that's $8 that I can save to spend on something else. You know.
Fair enough. I was curious because I've been curious what everybody's been getting as far as covers on that one because they had all 3 covers were good in my opinion, but man, was it like I just couldn't get. At $8, there's just no way I'm buying more than one. No. It's like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. No, I just I don't know. I have a hard time getting those $8 books unless it's like something I really want, like Flash or Titans or something like that. The Riddler One Bad Day might be the best book I've read this year. I've heard that from a lot of people. Who wrote that?
It was pretty good.
I feel like I didn't get that because it was written by Tom King, and I was like, I ain't getting that.
Yeah, well, fortunately, it's only one. It's a one shot, so his problem is when he goes more than 4 issues.
Yeah, well, no, that's true. I mean, so you were reading Batman when he was on it, right?
Oh yeah,
it was terrible.
I read that, and then I suffered through the Strange Adventures. Man, holy cow! That was tough reading, and I'm an Adam Strange fan, for God's sakes. You know, all 3 of us.
Yeah, no, I watched one of the I don't even know which one it was. One of those animated DC movies, and Adam Strange was in there, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was the most recent one, the Emerald, the Green Lantern one, of Jon Stewart. I forgot what it was called. Beware My Power, I think is what it was called. It had Adam Strange in it, and that was the first time I'd seen him in a movie. So
fair enough.
I thought it was a pretty good movie. I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed it.
Overall, I've been with most of the anime. I've probably seen maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 of the DC animated movies.
Yep.
And none of them have ever screamed out to me like this is just amazing type stuff. And I just.
So none of them are on the level of Into the Spider-Verse, is what you're saying.
You know, to be honest, even Into the Spider-Verse to me was kind of like okay initially. I mean, it's grown on me a little bit since then, and I know that's a lot of people are going to go, "What the hell, Rob? You're an idiot." But I just didn't. The animation style was not really my style.
Sure.
And so that was that. But but the DC ones, like I go into it and I'll read them and watch them, and it's always like it's like, okay, it's half good, and then there's half of it that's just like bonkers or weird or it just goes off the rails, and I
Sure,
go,
I get that.
I don't why. It's like you just try to fill time. Is that what you were trying to do?
I
You took a
enjoyed
four,
the
you
the
took a
newest
4 issue
one.
story and tried to stretch it into 90 minutes.
Sure, I get that. I did enjoy the newest one with the Super Sons. I thought it was fun. It was a fun one to watch with my daughter. I enjoyed it.
Magic Lasso, no, I skimmed through it. I have not sat down to read it yet. I skimmed through it, and from what I saw, it was interesting. Um, I kind of, I don't know. I was looking at it, going, "Wow, this is kind of interesting to see where it goes." I can't make too many comments on it because I didn't read it. I just kind of read like 5 panels throughout the book and looked at the pictures.
Into the
I
Spider
did,
Verse.
I did like some of the pictures, but it was like,
Into the Spider Verse is a classic. I
yeah,
would
I know. Look, I
I
know
would
a lot of
say
people who say have that opinion. I'm not going to say that they're wrong. I'm just saying that it didn't hit it for me
sure,
initially, and maybe that was partly that I'm still just beginning to find my Miles Morales fandom, right? So,
sure. Uh, I'll say this. I took my daughter to it, and so sometimes I feel like I like different movies based off who you watch it with. You know what I mean?
sure.
And I really, really enjoyed that movie. In fact, I would venture to say, for me, it's a top three, maybe not top three. It's a top five comic book movie that I've ever seen. Now, it kind of goes in a different category because it is animated versus live action. Like
Mhm.
I would still probably give the best comic book movie ever to The Dark Knight, and I would maybe even put TMNT 1990, the original TMNT movie, as number two. Um,
Way to lose credibility there, Burke.
but
You know, guys,
those
the best comic book movie ever made was Roger Corman's Fantastic Four.
is that your favorite?
No,
Oh.
it's an off. It was not even released. I mean, it's available out there to see, but it's like saying that your favorite Star Wars thing ever is the Star Wars Holiday Special. It's absolutely atrocious and painful to
Wait.
watch.
What, are you trying to say the original Ninja Turtles was atrocious?
Yes, sir.
You are out of this world, dude. That movie still holds up. It is still fantastic. The original movie,
I don't know about
fantastic.
that.
It was. It still is. It's so good.
We'll agree to
And maybe
disagree.
it's, but TMNT's not for everyone. So I mean, maybe part of it's nostalgia for me. It probably is. But I think it's great. And then I don't know what I put after that. Maybe The Winter Soldier. That's still my favorite Marvel movie.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
so maybe Spider Verse goes after that. But in terms of live action, those are my favorites. So,
All right. Cool. I mean, I'm not gonna.
my
I can't. I couldn't say that I could. I mean, when I look at Marvel movies and DC movies and that genre, it's like there's a questions of which ones are the best from a story standpoint versus which ones are the most rewatchable
sure,
type things are completely different balls of wax, right? Um, so for there's movies that so I kind of look at more which ones are the ones I enjoy the most type of thing. And when I go back, I'm going to sit down and rewatch a movie. Well, the original Guardians of the Galaxy is up there from a rewatchability standpoint over and over and over again. I just
interesting.
very fine. I have no problem watching that one over and again. The Deadpool movie, I can watch them over and over and over again. So that's just lighter,
Hmm,
little less serious and more just kind of, the comedic fun, the stuff that Mark sometimes hates, the stuff that I kind of enjoy. I just want to take my mind off and go away from it all, right?
sure, yeah,
Uh,
entertainment value
the
is what you're saying.
original Kick Ass, love, I love that flick.
So
Um,
what? So which one did you say that Mark wouldn't like? What was it?
Oh no, I'm saying that sometimes he doesn't like the over like the humorous, the overly humorous portions stuff.
Let's ask him.
But
I feel like
What is?
Rob's absolutely correct.
What's up, Mark?
Nothing much, man.
What is your favorite comic book live action movies?
Probably the Roger Corman Fantastic Four.
I was expecting you to say Superman 77.
No, because Superman. No, definitely not. Not Superman. I don't really care for Superman, Steve. Not really my thing.
Oh, sure.
You gotta admit though, that freaking Ryan Reynolds freaking Green Lantern, that was some solid shit right there.
I actually enjoy that movie. I'm not afraid to admit it. I enjoy that movie.
I am not afraid to admit that I was baffled about how bad it was when I saw it. So I've watched it more times than I can count since then. Like, absolutely. I still watch it to this day. It's one that's gotten better over time. But when I initially sat down and I started watching it, I'm like, dude, this is chopped together bad. The initial scenes on Oa were phenomenal, but as soon as he did the stupid Hot Wheels car at the gala where the helicopter crashed, I'm like, I am so out. And then I saw what they did with Parallax. I'm like, I am so out. The same complaints I have about what happens to comic book movies over at Marvel, I have those same complaints for Green Lantern. I'm consistent, if nothing else. But that being said, my kids love Green Lantern. And it's one that I don't know. I just watch it over and over. I don't know.
Yeah. You can enjoy it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying the heck out of a movie and having high rewatchability without it being a quality film. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Superman 78 is by far the greatest superhero movie that's ever come out, though. Well, I think because of its importance, just how I was not born anywhere near. I'm like 10 years after that movie came out. 9 years after that movie came out, I was born. But I can remember watching it as a kid and still being like, dude, this is insane. This is wild. And that movie holds up to today. Like, obviously the flying special effects, whatever, but like the performances and all that. And I don't know.
You know, so Rob was talking about he likes movies sometimes just for the entertainment value, zone out and just have fun. One of my favorite movies just like that came out recently, well, within the last couple of years. The Suicide Squad, so good. That movie's the second one.
Yeah, I like the first one, like just for entertainment value. I'll be honest with you, I've rewatched the first one more than I'll rewatch the second one.
I think the second one's so good.
I agree, but the second one is very R-rated.
Yeah, yes, it is.
So I'm limited on when I can watch that. Now, I will tell you that scene when they storm Jotunheim, I show that to Monkey all the time. She laughs her little butt off when King Shark starts ripping people to pieces.
Yes.
She just giggles and says, "That's silly, Daddy." They don't call him King Shark. I've told him the whole time his name's Nanawe, so that's what they call him.
That movie.
He's called Namor.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what he says his name is in the movie? Is Namor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Speaking of
which is better than saying no more.
Another one,
or no more.
If we're talking comic movies,
my name is Nomar. I play shortstop for the Red Sox, and then
people trash it heavily, but I really, really love Rise of the Silver Surfer. Fantastic Four, Rise of the
FF2.
Oh, God, I forget those movies.
I absolutely love that movie. I think it's a good comic book movie. I think
Old Guard was good, Brock.
Everyone gets like mad about Galactus was a cloud. I don't for one second feel like Galactus was a cloud. Like, not for one second did I assume Galactus was a cloud. I thought that was like his ship he was coming in kind of thing. That was just, they wanted a cop out of showing him. But like, there's a couple of scenes in the movie, like when he's passing by the planets and you see the shadow and you see the shape of his helmet in it where they're hinting at it. And then like in the actual cloud, when Surfer goes up in there, you see like a silhouette of something reaching out to him. So there's clearly something in it. And, you know, like you see the machinery in the clouds when it's coming down to plug into the planet. So I'm like, that's clearly not him. He's in there somewhere.
I totally remember towards the top of my list now. I remember it came to my head was The Crow, the original, and I love V for Vendetta. I will watch V for Vendetta over and over and over again.
Yeah,
it's a little weird for me.
That's like next level, though. You know what I mean? That's just like damn good cinema.
Yeah, they're the comic book movies, though.
Yeah. Anything that Alan Moore touched, even though he doesn't approve of it, it's somehow still weird. Phenomenal.
That guy's one of the weirdest people on the planet, it feels like.
Hancock.
Well,
I never watched Hancock.
it
I've
was
been meaning to, but
it's a movie I can watch one time, and I did watch it one time. I don't need to see it again. I'm not saying it was terrible, but I
But
don't need to
Hancock?
rewatch that. I don't
yeah,
need
I
to
was
rewatch it.
Oh, dude, Hancock was
Will
awesome.
Smith.
Action packed. It's funny.
I've meant
It's a
to
good
watch it.
action flick. You know what I mean?
I think it was in my like to-do list on Netflix for a long time until I canceled my Netflix subscription.
I guarantee you'll laugh your ass off. Call me an a-hole one more time.
Yeah.
So as a kid, I loved Batman Forever. Legit, honestly, thought
I did too.
old timey humor is what shaped my childhood. Airplane, Andy Griffith, Batman Forever. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't
No,
disagree with that.
I didn't dislike any of the Batman movies when they were coming out because I was the target age when they were coming out. You know,
Yeah.
I was in
Yeah, I
third
would.
grade when Batman and Robin dropped, so I'm like, that's target age.
Yeah, I remember not hating on them as much as I do today. But but I was a little bit being older. I mean, I was at that point. I was like, these were not the first two. I liked the Tim Burton stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm a
I
Tim
enjoyed those
Burton.
more.
But I like most things that Tim Burton touches. So
You know
Not a
what's
huge
funny
Tim
is like
Burton fan.
including Hillary Bonham Carter.
because of my age, like when it comes to like the rewatchability of these, like when you think like pre-MCU stuff, especially the rewatchabilities of these, like when it comes to the Spider-Man trilogy, no question about it, Spider-Man 2 is the best one. That's like probably still in the top 3
Sure.
comic book movies of all time. Like
I wouldn't
Spider-Man 2
disagree
is
with that.
damn good. But the rewatchability, I watched Spider-Man 3 more than any of them because it's got like it's not good, but it's got all this cool action scenes and this and that. Same thing with the X-Men movies. I think that X2 is the best one out of the 3 original. But The Last Stand, I sure do watch that one a lot more. A lot more characters and fights, especially if you have like the extended cut, like Wolverine fighting Juggernaut in the house and everything. And there's just I don't know, the bad ones are seem to be more rewatchable for me. I don't know why.
Well, then there's always the issue of depending upon how old they are. There's a certain rewatchability thing that sometimes it just doesn't translate. Sometimes the cinema comes across timeless. Sometimes it really shows its age,
Yeah.
and that can affect. I mean,
Stamped in
that
that
happens
era.
all the time when I take my kids to say, "Oh, you got to see this. This is great." And then I'm sitting there watching with them, going, "Oh, you know what? Oh my God! So many of these things are either like time-centric references." That
Mhm.
if you're not from that time or have lived through certain things, it's not funny
I
or it
watch a lot of
doesn't.
stand up, and there's a lot of comedians like that because I'll go
Yeah,
back and like watch old Kinnison and stuff who hits anytime. Watch old George Carlin hits anytime, but a lot of other comedians that are like trying to do like a social commentary or political commentary, they're like, dude, like these references are dead.
yeah. Like I remember when I sat down with my kids, making them watch Airplane, right? And you're just like, oh, Airplane is hilarious. But then you get, no, it just doesn't translate to a new for the younger generation because 90% of the jokes are they don't what's smoking on an airplane, what's this and what's that, and they just don't know all these references to go off of. So
Mhm.
it's a lost thing, but that's okay. There's a lot of stuff that they love and think is hilarious that I just look at them blankly and go, "What the?"
You mean like the entire She-Hulk series?
Hey, I tried.
I know.
I
A
tried
lot of
and I
people try.
wanted. I wanted and I tried. But how about Andor?
I haven't watched any of it.
Oh,
That's the show that everyone's like, the people that are still watching it are painfully suffering through it. And then this past week, we're like, hey, that was a decent episode with a tractor beam and lasers on the spaceship.
laser! Come on, dude! That damn spaceship pulled out lightsabers. What are you talking about?
Yeah. You know how much cocaine was involved in the writing room that day?
Oh, lots, and that's
Oh, that doesn't mean it's not cool. I'll give you that. I'm just saying, like,
although I've been saying that I love this show period no matter what for a while,
yeah.
and this had like 10 minutes of an action sequence that it was a space battle thing that was really showed you something that was cool and that it showed you something that all the years of Star Wars we've had, it was something different, and so that was cool in its own right.
Yeah.
Yes, well, that's Brock. I don't disagree with you because I too was born a poor black child.
So, speaking of all of these movies, I put on the thumbnail. We have a photo of Mr. Terrific, which was tweeted out by our guy James Gunn. Now, he's been kind of like teasing some DC characters: Superman, Mr. Terrific, Deadman, and Lobo, or some of the ones that he's tweeted out. So, can't see scans. Uh, I think it's pretty exciting that he's like kind of like putting feelers out there, like, hey, people are excited about this. Maybe some ones that I would like to see. I don't know. I kind of got a feel that they might do a Justice League Dark or do some more one-off stuff.
Where'd
I
you
know
get
they're
the
going to try to
Justice
connect
League
them
Dark?
more, but like do more of these characters that people maybe don't know as well. Maybe they'll even try to put more than just a couple in a movie like they have done. So,
What made you think Justice League Dark? That's one that HBO Max was like kicking around for a long time. Even
Dead. I was just thinking Dead Man. You know.
he posted that one the same day that McFarlane released the Dead Man figure. That was like some good timing. I'll definitely be picking that one up because I have the Justice League Dark McFarlane collection going. I would love to see a Justice League Dark, but I wouldn't love to see it like not done like really well or
No
like
need to rush into it. That's
So
for sure.
do you guys
You need
feel
to
like they're
build up
gonna
to
like?
it.
yeah. So like in order to do that, like I mean, we have the Swamp Thing stuff that got that
Yeah.
unfortunate legal stuff, tax, the finances in it that it messed it up. If they could salvage that and bring it back, you know what I mean? Like get it over to HBO Max at least, get a second season out. You have Swamp Thing. He's there. He doesn't have to be on the silver screen for his first introduction. Just pick that back up. That was done really well. We know that they got Kinanu back for Constantine 2, which perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, there. Go ahead.
We have those elements there. Is all that was it, Rob. We have those elements
Wow.
there that if they don't rush it, like there's you introduce
I would.
one more character, maybe brings Zatanna in.
Yeah.
I was reading that they were talking about that. First of all, it's a 10-year plan that they're putting in place, which is good. So they're building, and so they've been working on building out this roadmap, so kind of follow the MCU concept at least of building out a roadmap, not necessarily actualizing it in the same manner, but build out a roadmap and let's follow the roadmap. It helps us to tie all these things together over a period of time. But then there was some some speculation and comments regarding, we're not going to have 4 Batmen,
Yes.
and we're going to do, the question, some of these projects are in place is, will they just be wrapped up and be outside of this, or will they be eventually brought in as part of the multiverse in other places, and then just kind of then dropped or not, because they're not going to probably keep Keanu for any
No.
kind of long-term tie-in throughout these things. I mean, probably not, but
I
who
mean,
knows?
It does sound like they're going to try to like interconnect things more, right?
Yeah, well, that is the plan. Is
Yeah.
they're going to also do the same thing like with HBO Max or whatever name it goes under, right? Is they're going to do similar to Disney Plus and
Yeah, that's why they're axing everything else.
Yeah.
But
developing
good news on
shows
that,
to
though,
fill out.
I sing his praises from day one. Jeff Johns is the man, and Stargirl has been like my favorite comic book TV show since God, I don't know, like since like up to small.
And they're even canceling that and the Flash, and so it really does seem like
Flash, but
they're starting
Flash is
over
long in the tooth
everything.
at this point.
Flash,
It's
Flash was long in the tooth, and I've
10
said it,
years old.
dude. I said it from the beginning, like I'd be fine with Stargirl being short lived because when it was on the DC streaming service and it was already getting like split release from its first season, I'm like, I don't know how long it's going to go, but this first season's great. I'm fine with just getting a small amount of great content. It doesn't have to go till the horse is dead. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And Jeff Johns put out either today or yesterday that he filmed 2 endings to this show. So Jeff Johns is not like I've said it before. He would never let this character get mishandled. Any character in the world, maybe, depending on the circumstance, but there's not a circumstance in hell that would allow for Stargirl to get mishandled. And that's the good thing about that character and the personal ties to Jeff Johns that he has with her. that he filmed 2 endings of the show, which means we shouldn't be getting an unnecessary cliffhanger because they didn't see this coming. So we should be getting a proper book-ended, perfect 3-season show. Get in, perform, get out, leave everyone happy.
Yeah, the question becomes something like this also, though, is what are they going to continue doing? You know, you had already kind of greenlit this whole Joker 2 thing with Joaquin Phoenix and
Yeah.
whatnot. Are you going to continue to run that? Are you going to spin that off as being part of the multiverse? Or are you going to just,
Dude,
you
it's
know,
all really explainable though, like because it doesn't. All right, it's super. The only like real discrepancy is Jared Leto, right? Because Arthur Fleck is Arthur Fleck. That name Arthur Fleck is only related to the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and it's set back in the past in like the 70s with Thomas Wayne stuff, right? So this guy could be like a
Bruce
Joker.
Wayne as a boy, young boy, yeah,
But the
proto
thing
Joker, sort of like Gotham
but
did.
the thing they're messing up with now is they're adding Harley Quinn to it. Now it's not even
Yeah.
just multiple joke. Like Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great casting. People are happy with that casting. She knocks it out of the park. Like the Robert Pattinson Batman stuff, that's simple as hell. And they're already talking about like merging that in because the DCU Batman Ben Affleck is 20 years into the job. Like remember, there's even the dialogue. We're a long way from the days of exploding penguins and stuff. So he's already burned his rogues gallery out, minus the Joker. So everything that Pattinson does is just
Free.
he's young Ben Affleck days. That's
Right.
so
Well, and I wonder how much they're going to dive into like the Flash movie, like resetting stuff.
I was going to get to that. That's your
Yeah.
magic button.
There's you go. That's your trump card right there. And I'm sure they can put out a release and all that stuff.
Dude, that movie is, I'm going to say it every time we talk about that. It's going to piss people off how good that movie is, I think. Like,
I agree.
Just because everyone, like all the insanely high rated screen test whatever audience that it has, and those people that go to that stuff are like movie heads. They're more than aware of what Ezra has done, so they go in with their opinions of him and still coming out. When David Zaslav took over, he watched all these movies and as far as they were complete at that point and said Black Adam's pretty good. He's got some more work to do. Shazam is got a couple more reshoots. Flash is amazing. You know, they're very confident with that movie, or they would have just scrapped it, or this, or that, or whatever. But there's just something about that movie that they're willing to fight for. They're that confident.
And I think part of it is the fact that they're like, okay, we can use this to reset stuff, including the Flash actor. You know what I mean? And so,
dude, I hope we just move past Barry because it'd be weird to recast. I hope they just.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do that.
But
I don't find recasting an issue. I mean, I understand that there's lots of flashes from that standpoint and everything else, but I'm saying the concept of recasting an actor to play a character in these multi-year recurring things, I don't have a problem with it. I can suspend my disbelief that a man can fly or run faster than fucking light or whatever the hell the issue is. Then I can suspend disbelief that the guy's face changed slightly. You know, or whatever, you know.
And it's not necessarily like a personal thing I would have with it. It's just you gotta like, I'm just kind of thinking like the problems that can come with it, not necessarily with me. We're gonna go see it.
Look, Last Man Standing changed their daughters almost multiple. 2 of the 3 daughters changed at different times during that show. It's completely different actresses.
They did it with Rhodey from Iron Man 1 to 2 as well.
Nobody cared except the actor.
Yeah, he big cared. Worked out great for him. I think he landed a TV gig after that.
I'm interested to see what they do for sure.
Yeah, I think
I'm a little disappointed in the Black Adam box office. I was hoping it would do a little bit better, but I mean that's kind of what you get with the character that's not one of the A-list DC characters.
The A-list is coming off of I mean it's still
Did it clear 400 million yet?
I don't believe so. I think it's like up to like 360, 370.
Oh, it didn't release. It did not release in China, so that's a big blow. I mean, that would probably double it easily. I feel like, but
that's something that people have to come to terms with when they're making these movies now, because nothing Disney does. Well, I have to take that back because Disney like puffs out their chest and acts high and mighty, but then they edit their films and take away all of their high and mightiness out of their films to release them over there.
So how much did you say it made?
I think it's up to like 360,
So
370.
it's going to make roughly the same as Shazam did. Because Shazam made 366. So
Domestic, maybe. Shazam probably made that domestic, not globally.
I guess that's what it says.
There's a huge difference in those two numbers.
Shazam.
Black Adam is at like 370 global. I think Shazam made more than that. Shazam had a very, very smaller budget than Black Adam did too. I don't know. Black Adam has not performed well.
I mean, when I'm going to the theaters, I'm still seeing them pretty empty too, for the most part. It's not
It really is.
It's not performing. It's like we went, see, Wakanda Forever on Friday.
Black Adam's at 353,
and it was like,
That's
there was
crazy.
plenty of empty space in the theater. It was pretty crazy. And that was like opening week, first day of opening weekend on a holiday where people had the time off.
So Venom, the first movie, which is, in my opinion, terrible. That movie made $854 million. Okay,
on like a $90 million budget.
Yeah, it true. They made
That's why I got a sequel, folks.
They made almost $300 million just in China. $272 million just in China.
Well, if there's 1 billion people and 10% go see, and 10% of the people go see the movie at $10 a movie ticket.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's such a strong market. They have a very, very dense population over there.
I don't know. It's just interesting. I was hoping for it to do more because it does kind of feel like obviously at this point. What's that?
Wakanda did that on opening weekend, but
exactly that's what I'm saying.
With anything like what's kind of interesting is watching that run though, not just that initial pop, because Wakanda dropped on a holiday weekend. It's a Marvel movie which has a built-in audience coming to it. DC has
it's a movie that's paying respect to its former actor, so that's going to draw.
It was getting good buzz,
but I mean, I don't know. It's hard. It kind of sucks because I want DC to be doing better at the box office, but
they have to earn it again, though, man.
You have to earn it.
I fully believe that they have to earn that trust back, because I don't think it's DC's fault, but Warner Brothers and the people up there made a lot of decisions that really just didn't do them any favors to the general public and stuff. Like the diehard fans are going to watch because they want to know, but you gotta earn the general audience back, and
I agree.
Take some hits in a row to do it. Black Adam got a lot of good conversation come out of it. It got a lot of great audience reception. So there's going to be a lot of people that catch it on streaming after the fact, or this or that.
I feel like a lot of people are waiting for it to come to HBO Max.
Well, it's going to have longevity. People are going to catch it however they catch it or whenever they catch it, but they're not going to race to go see what DC's doing just yet. But as they, it's going to take a few of those that don't perform like amazingly, and people to see it when they see it and say, "Damn, that was fun," and then get that interest back in it.
Yeah, I have heard a lot of people say on this one that they were just waiting for it.
Mm-hmm. You want to hear something interesting?
Not really.
Okay.
And now I do.
Captain America, the first Avenger. Guess how much money it made?
Probably like 600.
370 million. So.
On what budget? Probably like what, 125?
140. So, I mean, that does kind of correlate with, this Black Adam movie kind of as one of the movies
they had a 200 price tag, 200 plus.
I want to say it was around 200, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to rebrand Captain America too much outside of in countries that don't care for us so much.
They just called it the first Avenger.
Right. Yeah, but he's still running around. He's still running around in red, white, and blue with stars and stripes all over him, and
killing a bunch of Germans.
So the first Thor movie made 450 million.
Now Red Guardian, he might be able to make his own movie better.
Budget. I could see that at like an 80 million budget probably.
It was Hold on, let me look here. Where is it?
It's right there. Don't you see it?
I'm
Yeah.
looking. I'm
It's in front of you.
looking.
It's in front of you, man. Open your eyes.
Okay, it is literally right there. The budget was 150 million.
Oh wow. They went on
So
that. That was the last one of phase one. What no, Captain America was the last one of phase one.
I mean,
Captain America was so damn good.
it did take Marvel several films before it really started to catch on. But when it did, I mean, it's almost every movie now for them. It feels like is approaching at 800 to $1 billion. So
Yeah, but they're not all profitable. Like I don't know if you
sure,
saw that,
yeah.
but Thor:
You
Love
tell me
and
about
Thunder brought in $750 million on a $250 million budget, but they actually didn't turn a profit
I'll be back and get my food.
because that budget that they're sharing, they tack on like what Disney's doing is this weird thing where they're tacking on all these extra expenses to their films and stuff, and then they're not factoring in the theater gate. Like on average, uh, theaters take like 30 to 40% per ticket price. With Disney put out that theaters get 47% of their ticket price. And like when you factor in all this, not counting any kind of actor deals where they might have some kind of profit share with the release, keeping that out of the equation, they only brought in like $12,000 for Thor: Love and Thunder. You invested $250 million up front to get a $12,000 return in that kind of time frame. It was a huge loss, and that's why Taika Waititi was fired the week after it was released.
You think that was the reason why? Because he spent too much money, or because it didn't make enough
He
money?
spent too much money because he, like, if you're investing something and you're not getting your return, you have to not invest in that person again. That's just how it works. Like his direction he was taking Thor obviously wasn't what audiences want. I don't care if you enjoyed it or not. It didn't work. It's just that simple. What up, Scott?
What up, Scott? How's it going, man? What's Scott's favorite live action comic movies? Do you think he has any? Do you think he likes any of them? I know the Batman is his favorite. I know the Batman is his personal favorite. I did not see that movie.
I did. I have that Man Thing movie. I got it back in like 2000. What was it 2008 when it came out? I've had that on DVD since day one.
I will tell you that for a shawarma,
the Dubidoux brothers.
For a shawarma, this pita is strangely burrito-esque.
It looks like a burrito to me.
Because it's in a fucking tortilla. It's not in a pita.
I think that Brock is the only other person I've ever met that's actually referenced that movie. I've asked people about it, especially recently, because that was one like at the old house, Steve, that I had on the shelf right behind me. Remember? I had to reach and pull it up. I have like a stack of DVDs down here.
You used to show DVDs all the time.
Yeah, that was one of them. Because it was just like it's the DVDs of like comic book stuff from, I guess, like when I'm the only person that was watching them, except Brock. Brock was watching them too.
Wasn't Tyler?
Mm-mm.
He just collected them.
No, he didn't have these. This is like the old Swamp Thing TV show. Like after Swamp Thing returns, they did a TV show for like 3 seasons, like 30-minute episodes. I've got all of those, and the Roger Corman Fantastic Four. I've had that since I was a kid, before you could actually buy it or find it. The old 1990s Captain America that was never released.
So, The Incredible Hulk, which is the only Hulk movie ever. I remember going to see it. I really enjoyed it.
There's 2 Hulk movies.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
There's the Eric Bana.
I'm not talking about the Eric Bana movie.
MCU?
Yes, Edward Norton.
Yeah.
Budget of $137.5 million. Box office 264.8. And that was the second MCU movie.
Mm-hmm. That was at the end of that where Tony comes to talk to Thunderbolt Ross about recruiting the Abomination.
Yep. So the first Iron Man made 585. The second one made 620. And sandwiched in between there was the Incredible Hulk and then Thor, which we talked about, which made 450 on 150 million, and then Captain America, the First Avenger, made 370 on a budget of between 140 and 216 million. They have a approximate. So that gives me some hope that that DC can figure it out and start doing well and being profitable and making movies that everyone likes.
I think they
If
need
they're,
to
if they're, if they're patient,
rein in their budgets. I know everything costs more now. So
it does cost more now.
We're talking
yes.
like over a decade ago with some of these movies and their budget. So like,
Sure.
I wonder how comparable that budget kind of is. Like, is $100 million budget back then comparable to like a 125, 150 now kind of thing?
And catering alone.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, like all the expenses and everything like that.
Yeah. That's why when they always talk about like the most expensive movie ever made, stuff, they always try to do the adjusted for inflation. And
What is the most expensive movie ever made?
Google it.
Is it Avatar?
No. I want to say it was like Cleopatra or something.
Oh, you're talking about with the adjustment?
Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides from
Oh, wow. They
2011.
really lost their ass on that.
379 million.
Yeah, but that's just straight dollars.
Dude, that's insane for now's dollars. Stranger Tides was that the second to most recent? Yeah, that's the second to most recent. That was number 4. That was the first one.
It did make 1 billion, but not very
Oh,
much.
well, apparently, no, you're right. Pirates of the Caribbean film on Stranger Tides, even adjusted for inflation or otherwise.
The next 3 movies are all Avengers movies. Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers Endgame, and Avengers Infinity War. And then Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End before that. Right.
I love that whole set of movies, man. They get weird.
Tangled from 2010 cost 260 million. That's crazy.
The Hobbit trilogy was as a threesome though was 623 million after tax credits.
Gotta love those tax credits.
That's not the Captain America movie I'm talking about, Scott. You're talking about was it Red Brown that played Cap when he had the motorcycle and the clear shield? Not that one. In the early 90s, there was a live action Captain America feature film that was made that was never released, where a Red Skull was in it. He was Italian. The whole opening scene with fighting the Red Skull and getting stuck on the rocket as it was taking off and all that stuff.
So they say Titanic, adjusted for inflation, is number 3. Because
it was the first movie to break 200 million in its cost. So
yeah, it was 200 million back in 1997.
And they've gone back and done more work on that movie because James Cameron had a conversation with Neil deGrasse Tyson at one point, and Neil said it was talking about how he loved his movie. The only thing that he noticed, though, that he really bothered him was when there are stars in the sky. He was mad that those are not the stars that would be in the sky that night in that part of the world. So James went back and fixed it.
Jeez. So they're saying Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. I said 379, adjusted for inflation, 500 million. That is crazy.
Now I want to watch it. See if you can see the money on the screen. There's some movies that are like that. They just look like they were a lot of money went into them. Y'all ever seen that movie Elysium or Chappie or District 9?
I saw 2 of the 3 of those. I saw Elysium and I saw District 9.
So Neil Blomkamp makes all three of those movies. And I don't know what like VFX team he works with, but it all looks real. Like looks super real. And those
Wow.
I mean, they look expensive when you watch those. The newest Lone Ranger movie with Armie Hammer and Johnny Depp, that looks expensive. Like it looks really, really good. It's a damn good looking movie. I really enjoyed it too. It didn't do very well. Disney and Bruckheimer Studios was really trying to find another Pirates franchise. You know, they tried with Prince of Persia and it didn't work. Tried with the Lone Ranger, it didn't work.
What I love is some of these ones are your biggest losers, man.
John Carter of Mars.
John
200,
Carter. Oh god.
200
Is that Jake
million.
Gyllenhaal?
No. Jake Gyllenhaal was in Prince of Persia. It was Taylor Kitsch and
That's
John
right.
Carter of Mars.
That's right.
But again, it was another one where they're trying to find this new like Pirates formula franchise.
Right.
Yeah, it was really well done. If you like Edgar Rice Burroughs' Princess of Mars stuff,
Never forget John Carter.
I enjoyed it.
Have you watched this week's Titans yet?
No, yesterday morning I tried to watch the one from last week that I was missing, and I'm like, I'd rather just go stare at the wall.
I'm going to watch it this weekend, but it has not. The first 2 episodes were not good.
I thought the first two were decent,
Hmm.
and then I sat on it for a while. I'm like, and then tonight I caught up on 2 episodes of Stargirl. I'm like, dude, Titans is so bad because Stargirl
It's
is
just-
so fire.
It's
so
just,
fire.
I don't care about the blood.
I'm with you,
What is
Scott.
it?
I absolutely love John Carter.
Mother
Yes.
Mayhem and Brother Blood. I just don't care. I just don't care at all.
Did y'all ever watch Tron Legacy? That's another one that I
Yeah.
think is
I
just
love that movie.
10 out of 10. That
I
movie
love
is
that movie.
damn good.
We should have like a movie, just like a movie live stream to talk about our favorites.
Your
Isn't that what we're doing?
your biggest money losers, adjusted for inflation, obviously. Number one
Here we
was
go.
John
Let's hear
Carter. Was John Carter, right? Which
Mhm.
is somewhere in
220
the
million, right?
somewhere estimates are between 133 to 236 million
Loss
Ooh,
in
or just
losses.
budget?
yuck.
That's a lot. The
bad.
net production budget was 263 million, and the
Mhm.
worldwide gross was 284. And then there was additional,
Yeah,
something to go
that's the
into.
stuff
So
that kills them is like the marketing, the actors deals, the
right. So
theater
basically, it
deals.
lost up to 236 million. Lone Ranger, 221 million.
Yeah, Scott, he
Thir-
had no shield, but he carried a gun.
The 13th Warrior, 210 million.
With Antonio Banderas?
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Mortal Engines, 189 million.
I don't know why people make stuff like that and think it's going to make any money.
Cutthroat Island, which
Love
I
it.
actually-
Regina Davis, love it.
I actually like that movie because
Love it.
you can watch that one all day long. There's no gratuitous violence,
Nope, PG.
sex, blood, swearing. It's just
The
good old-
roughest part is the map is on a scalp.
right.
Yeah.
Lost 187 million.
Holy crap.
The budget on that film was 98 million.
How'd they lose more than it cost?
Worldwide gross was 18.3 million.
What?
Wow.
It did not do well. Then let's see, Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas, lost 184 million.
Sinbad Legend of the Seven Seas. Which one is that? Is that from the 90s?
That is an animated from DreamWorks.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Battleship.
That was such a fun movie, dude.
I
That
actually,
was so good.
Taylor Kitsch, right?
Taylor
lost-
Kitsch. That was
That lost
yes.
177 million.
Bro,
I
that
enjoy
was a
watching that
damn
on
good
TV.
movie. Dude, I've
I-
watched that. I went and watched Cabin in the Woods by myself at the Dollar Theater, and then as soon as it was over, like I just went and got a ticket and watched Battleship in the same day one weekend when I had nothing to do. This was before I had kids, obviously. But
Mars
dude, I
Mars
love
Needs
that.
Moms. That lost 173 million.
I guess they don't need mom.
Pan, 171 million. Tomorrowland, 171 million. King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, 169.
That's the Guy Ritchie one, isn't it?
Turning Red. That was animated by
That's
Pixar.
that new Disney.
Dude, I'm looking at his list, dude. Disney loses a lot of money when they lose money.
Now you look at where they're currently standing, and you see why they're having their worst year ever, and they're firing people and laying people off, and have a hiring freeze, and they're they're just trash.
Titan AE was on here.
That's
Jungle
not
Cruise.
Disney, that's a damn good movie.
I actually enjoy Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise was awesome.
You can enjoy it.
For that.
You can enjoy it, but it lost $151 million.
So it feels like The Rock can't really get people to go to those movies.
Well,
Turning Red, Jungle Cruise, these are all COVID releases. Also,
that's a big part there. And if you go ahead and you do every movie, then some movies will be good. Some movies aren't going to. The Rock doesn't say no often. He just gets better options than Hulk Hogan ever did. Mulan. Oh, here's a winner. The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Oh my gosh.
Lost $145 million. Dark Phoenix. Final Fantasy, The Spirit Within.
Phoenix, like that one suffered just from existence. It shouldn't have been made, and they still wanted to make one. Do you know that they changed the whole ending of that movie? It was never supposed to be a final fight on a train. It was supposed to be in space, but because Captain Marvel was coming out at the same time with that space fight, they didn't want to have the same thing, so they somehow thought that doing the train fight was better.
It would be interesting as I'm looking at this here to eliminate the movies that were COVID related, because there are a lot in here that are.
Jonah Hex 47 and 11.
But that still only means you probably budgeted another 10 million in marketing. That means you only lost 30 or 40 million in comparison. That's the other thing, right? Is then when you start looking at percentages, how much did you lose as a percentage? That's where it really gets fun. But because on this list also you got Matrix Resurrections. Of course, that was not a good movie, but
that was only released on HBO Max, right?
Oh, Resurrections. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Resurrection, right?
Yeah, it's the 2021 one, where they
brought back. It was only on HBO Max, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, was it a movie theater too?
Yeah, that was
a dual release.
So yeah, all the stuff that came out that year went straight on HBO Max the same day as release in theaters, if the theaters were open. Resurrection, me and Kyle watched it at home the day it released, and DJ saw it in theaters the day it released. So that was a dual one. I didn't pay for a movie ticket, but my household watched, like between me and my wife, that's 4 tickets that would have been watched because we watched it twice.
Yeah, there's a lot of 2021.
So a lot of these movies that didn't make
look
any
at
money.
Kong versus Godzilla, because that was a straight up HBO Max release.
Well,
and that's like one of the big franchises for Legendary.
A lot of these movies.
The Suicide Squad's on this list is not doing very good.
Yeah, that was a straight
lost 121 million.
Yeah.
But they call it a success somehow. They just decided to write off an entire year worth of movies.
Well, because I don't think
they decided to make their money off of subscriptions.
This is going to be looking at box office, intake, and maybe I don't know if they're counting in. Let's see, following partial list money based on documented losses or estimates by expert analysis factors, budget, marketing, distribution, gross box profit. Ancillary revenue. So there, one of the things that's difficult and it's really not able to do is, streaming services are really difficult because they're not. You don't know how much revenue did they really. How many subscriptions many subscriptions are directly related to that movie release being added, type thing, or
streaming services won't even share honest information about their views, and like there's been a lot of that being talked about because of that. That Rings of Power show on Amazon, where Amazon comes out and makes these claims that they've set all these personal records, but they're just trying to but obviously that they didn't, kind of thing. There's a lot of people analyzing their views because there is this, God, I can't remember the name of it. It's some place outside the US that actually tracks views somehow and does view projections and stuff. And they put out the numbers, and it was showing 20% of what Amazon was claiming Rings of Power did. But there's a whole talk about how people don't want to share their view numbers because they don't want people to see that negative number or like have this negative idea about the show and then not go watch it, so they want to keep them kind of secretive.
On a side note, all of a sudden I see a note here that says the FDA has approved lab-grown meat. So let me ask a question, Mark. Is
Mhm.
lab-grown meat vegetarian, or is
I
it
don't
still?
know. Is it meat based or plant based?
It's just grown out of cell cultures in a lab.
Are they cellulose cells? What kind of cells are you talking about, Rob?
I don't know.
Rob, do me a favor real quick. Google goat spider.
Goat spider. Oh
Yeah.
God.
No, that's not a joke.
Is it one word?
One or two. I mean, it's one animal.
Okay, the first thing that came up was an image of a goat in a Spider-Man outfit.
Why are you under images? I don't need an image.
Well, I mean, images populate the top of the Google. Okay, synthetic biology and the rise of spider goats.
This sounds eerily like what is Invisible Man?
No, it's gene splicing. We've spliced a goat with actual spider genes where it's a female goat, so it has like udders and stuff, and they're able to get the webbing out of the udders that's stronger than any other spider webbing, and they're actually using it to make a material that's tougher than Kevlar.
The need to raise and
It
slaughter.
looks like a regular goat, but it has like the web silk or whatever that comes out of its udders. This is real life. It's been around forever and it's just wide open. Like gene splicing and animal splicing, that's something that people do. But too many people worried about like Amber Heard shitting in someone's bed than talking about like how crazy this is. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
It's about time for me to get out of here. I gotta get to work tomorrow.
Can you imagine it like mastitis because they didn't web it enough?
Yeah, you gotta web it. Did you see Rob?
Go ahead. What?
You come home from
I was
work.
asking Rob if he saw the goat spider.
Did you
Yeah.
go today?
Goat spider silk. That's what it's called, the silk. It's super crazy. Synthetic biology and the rise of spider goats. That's from 2012. 10 years. We've had goats that can produce spider webs for 10 years, people. So let that sink in.
Still can't climb up a building.
Or can we? I'm just saying, that's crazy. What else is out there?
Rob, you got your only slabs on Saturday?
I do. I'm going to have a surprise, unscheduled or a out of schedule video dropping tomorrow. There's going to be the premier TSMB fam subscription mystery box has arrived. And so I will open it up.
TSMB?
That Spider-Man booth.
Okay.
They use that abbreviation. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
That used to be such a big thing, man, when they were doing those huge GPs and stuff.
yeah, well, so it used to be that their mystery box was like you bought it for $29 and it was 5 books or whatever, and then it gave you got a chance at a weekly pool, plus your purchase got you in for these shows that they were doing stuff on. Now it's a subscription mystery box, and you get there's some just very much like the Comic Tom box. There's a couple of exclusives and then some other books, and then they are still though having a Monday Mania or whatever drawing thing for additional prizes. I actually from the beta box inside this one, the tease will be inside my box that arrived was a prize I won from the beta box, which was a print from Loki.
It's pretty cool.
But anyway, so I'll be unboxing that on and giving my opinion on it, and then
a lot of your slabs up.
Huh?
You changed a lot of your slabs up.
I moved some slabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 3 new slabs that went up.
Yeah, that pink one above your head, that green one above your head.
Well,
all 3 of them right above your head.
The green one's been there. This one's newer. That one's went up. And then the other two that went up are up above here. You can't see, but they
That
shifted.
Plastic Man that you posted was gorgeous.
Yeah, that's up there. Or actually, he's over here, but he's off camera, just off camera. Right next to that Planet Comics, actually, is what Plastic Man is. But anyways, yeah, Only Slabs, we have Mighty Comics and Collectibles on this week.
Nice.
I'm not familiar with them. Are they Instagram or YouTube?
Both.
I'm going to have, well, no, I'll be at a con this weekend, so I will not be checking it out.
Oh, what con you going to?
There's another local con, man. We had one con in Augusta for the past like 5 years. Before then, nothing. And now this year we've had like 1, 2, 3. This week 4.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
You got your hangout tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Probably do a little live walkthrough of the con, maybe.
Do it.
The guy putting it on asked if I wanted a booth. I'm like, nah, but I'm going to be doing a panel. He asked if I could do that. I said, sure. Just like a panel about different people in the hobby kind of thing, different aspects of collecting. Should be fun. Never done that before.
You'll do great. You'll do really good.
Yeah, I'm just going to wing it.
You're great at that. That's for sure. I should have a video coming out sometime this weekend and Sunday morning chat. So I'm gonna hit up all the sponsors and we'll get out of here. Thank you to the 616comics.com for sponsoring the channel and the monthly Burke Box, which we're going to draw for in 2 weeks. Check out their website, the616comics.com, for exclusive variants, ratio variants, statues, CGC books, and more. Thank you to the channel members. You guys are obviously awesome and amazing. Everyone in the family tier there is entered to win again that monthly Burke Box sponsored by the 616. A link to everyone in the friend tier and family tier, a link to their Instagram and YouTube is in the description of all my videos. Subscribe to them, follow them, and support this amazing comic community. And thank you to Eric. If you guys ever need any books pressed, consider Eric at comicbook_pressing on IG. Use promo code Burke54. Free shipping back to you on your first order. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. Thank you to Rob and Mark for coming on. And as always, go Cats!
Cowabunga! It's Morphin time!